This is not a joke.
Maci McKinney has always been a fan favorite on Teen Mom, but now people are noticing just how toxic her choices are when it comes to exploiting her son Bentley. You'll never believe everything she shared about him over the years, and just how much it could affect him as he grows up. Maci was on the first ever episode of 16 and Pregnant with her baby daddy and then boyfriend Ryan Edwards. That means Bentley's birth and every other part of his life has been filmed for nearly 15 years. Even though that's been the case for some of the other Teen Mom families as well, there's a big contrast to Maci and Bentley's situation. The different ways she's made money from publicly broadcasting her son's personal life is honestly insane. One of the main reasons why people have accused Maci of exploiting Bentley has to do with what they film regarding his dad Ryan. It's not uncommon for the moms to talk about their co-parenting problems on camera, but what Maci has been doing goes so far beyond that. Obviously, Ryan wasn't exactly a present father for the majority of Bentley's life, which Maci has talked about for a long time. But when Ryan's struggles with substance use finally became a topic on Teen Mom, Maci's actions were incredibly alarming. Throughout season 9 of Teen Mom OG, Maci got a ton of backlash for many of the scenes in her storyline. She regularly spoke in detail about Bentley being in therapy to deal with his broken relationship with Ryan, but what she allowed MTV to film was truly unbelievable. During one scene, Maci was on the phone with Bentley's therapist. She had the call on speakerphone so the cameras could easily pick up what was said about what Bentley had been talking about in therapy. At one point, the therapist even mentioned how Bentley felt neglected by Ryan, but that wasn't all. After Bentley decided to ask his dad to join him for a therapy session, Ryan and his family lost their minds. They thought it was a ridiculous request that had been planted by Maci and her husband Tyler. What that very tense fallout led to was so unsettling. There were several scenes where Bentley opened up about how overwhelmed he felt about the situation with the Edwards family. He was 12 at the time, so his therapist had worked with him to create his own boundaries, but sadly they definitely weren't respected. Bentley made it clear he didn't want to go to Ryan's, and he only agreed to go to Jen and Larry's house. But when he was over there, he ended up seeing his dad, and what he revealed about his interaction with Ryan was seriously heartbreaking. While filming, Bentley admitted to Maci and Tyler that Ryan had pretty much avoided him altogether, and unfortunately his grandparents later put him in a devastating situation. When Bentley spoke out about his trouble connecting with Ryan to Jen and Larry, it was a total nightmare. Instead of helping or encouraging Ryan to set up, Larry ended up turning it around on Bentley in a disturbing way. Larry confessed on camera that he felt like Bentley was making him choose between himself or Ryan, which actually wasn't the case at all, but he still made it very clear that his grandson would never come first because Ryan was his only son. Not only was that an awful thing for Larry to say, but the fact that he got so heated about it while filming was terrible. That scene where Bentley was labeled as less important than his deadbeat dad will be around on the internet forever. If Maci really wanted Bentley to heal and feel safe, she should have kept some parts of his life off camera, but because she allowed every little detail to be filmed, those emotional moments are going to follow him around for the rest of his life. It's bad enough that Maci allowed so much of Bentley's rough preteen years to be filmed, but what's even crazier is that she still hasn't learned that protecting his privacy is more important than her MTV paycheck. What she's been doing on the most recent episode of Teen Mom: The Next Chapter is extremely bizarre. Maci still hasn't stopped exploiting Bentley and his feelings about his dad. In one of the latest episodes, she and Bentley talked to a therapist, Coach B, about how to manage his relationship with Ryan. This scene was absolutely unreal. This time, Bentley's actual therapy session was filmed. It was so strange to watch because he appeared to feel really emotional and awkward about the cameras rolling, but a lot of viewers were upset about the scene for a different shocking reason. Many people agree that even if Bentley agrees to film certain scenes, he's still a minor. That means it's really up to Maci what she allows MTV to record, and so far she hasn't drawn a line yet. But Bentley's personal issues being on national TV could have a mind-blowing impact. Bentley is almost 15, but he's still too young to realize the severe impact that Teen Mom could have on the rest of his life. It's going to follow him forever, whether it's good or bad. Once he's an adult, he might not want everything from his childhood being public information. But for now, Maci is making that call and doesn't look like she's changing her mind anytime soon. It would be different if she she followed the lead of some of her other cast members who stopped focusing so much on their kids for their main storylines, or she could pull a total 180. Chelsea Houska-DeBoer was also one of Teen Mom's first members, but she left the show a few years ago. Her first baby daddy, Adam Lynn, was in a situation similar to Ryan's because he was struggling with substance use, but what made her quit Teen Mom was honestly surprising. Chelsea wanted to give her kids more privacy, so she walked away from MTV. Although she and her husband Cole have their own show on HGTV, now their kids' personal lives aren't in the spotlight. But even if Maci quit the show, I'm not sure that would change her questionable behavior. Lately, Maci has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. While promoting season 2 of The Next Chapter, she's been speaking about Bentley and Ryan's relationship to many different publications. What she's been revealing is astonishing. Maci has been opening up about how much Bentley's relationship with his dad had changed during Ryan's prison sentence. She hasn't been holding anything back, and it's truly concerning. Even though it's great that Bentley and Ryan's relationship has supposedly improved, is it really something Maci should be sharing so publicly? Ryan's involvement seems like it would be a very sensitive subject to any other parent, but Maci doesn't have any problem broadcasting it, despite how it could affect Bentley. Bentley is in high school, and a lot of his classmates probably know more about his personal life than he wants them to. I think we all know that people can sometimes be cruel with their comments, including kids, but when Bentley gets older, he'll have even more to worry about. Recently, Bentley was allowed to get his own Instagram account, but Maci and Taylor still allegedly check to make sure everything is appropriate for him. Eventually, his parents won't be censoring his social media, and he'll have to deal with random people criticizing him unfairly. Maci hasn't just shared Bentley's private issues with Ryan while filming. She's also talked about other topics that could embarrass Bentley a lot, like his bathroom habit. But there was one scene in particular that Maci caught so much heat for, and it was so insane. During one episode from season 9, Maci and Taylor sat down with Bentley to talk about dating, but before the conversation was done, they also let him know that it's okay if he decides to date other boys. Even though it's awesome that Maci and Taylor would be accepting of Bentley's preferences no matter what, so many people were furious about the scene. They argued that talking about Bentley's sexuality should have stayed a private moment off camera, but what Maci did next was even more unbelievable. Maci promoted the episode on her Instagram by sharing a link to that scene, but her caption was super vague. She wrote that love is love, which a lot of people felt was misleading. It seemed like a clickbait article based on her then preteen son's sexuality, which was maybe even more disturbing than having it filmed in the first place. It's pretty clear that Maci isn't going to stop exploiting Bentley's privacy in exchange for money anytime soon. Hopefully, if he does speak out about not wanting to film as much, she actually respects his choice. But for now, Maci is continuing to violate Bentley's privacy by allowing everything to be filmed in his life. And the scenes of his dad neglecting him, his grandfather refusing to prioritize him, and his own vulnerable moments will be online forever. Now that we've gone into the different ways that Maci has exploited Bentley's personal life since he was born, I'm curious. What are your thoughts on her centering her storyline on Bentley's relationship with Ryan? What do you think about Maci allowing MTV to film Bentley's therapy sessions? Let me know in the comments below.